The first time I woke up in complete silence, no drama, no crisis, no phone buzzing, I didn't feel relief. I felt terror. There's a strange sickness that happens when you finally get the peace you always wanted. Your nervous system doesn't trust it. Your body stays braced for an impact that never comes. I spent 3 nights in a 5-star hotel in Switzerland unable to sleep. Not because the bed was uncomfortable, because the comfort itself felt dangerous, and scientists call this hypervigilance withdrawal. For years I had dreamed about peace, but when it arrived, I didn't recognize it. Stay with me, because what happened next changed how I understand healing forever. It was supposed to be a celebration, a week alone in the Swiss Alps, a gift to myself for surviving everything I had survived. The car wound through mountains so beautiful they looked fake. By the time we arrived, I was on the edge of a panic attack I couldn't explain. I checked in and immediately called Ava, not because anything was wrong, because the silence was so loud. She laughed gently and said, "You finally got what you wanted, and now you don't know what to do with it." Trauma researchers call this window of tolerance, the range of experience you can handle without becoming dysregulated. Years of chaos had shrunk my window until peace itself fell outside of it. That first night, I ordered room service. I didn't eat. The peace was everywhere, and I was hiding from it. Day 4. I woke before sunrise and walked to the window. The silence was absolute. I stood there for an hour without moving. Then something inside me cracked. The tears came without warning, the kind that shake your whole body. I cried for the woman who had been running so long, she forgot what she was running from. It wasn't sadness, it was release. Somatic therapists call this thawing, stored trauma releasing when the body finally feels safe. After the tears stopped, I felt something I hadn't felt in years, stillness that wasn't threatening, quiet that wasn't the calm before a storm. For the first time, I understood. Maybe I could learn to live here. I started taking long walks, not with destinations, not with podcasts, just movement and presence. Cobblestone streets where everyone moved slowly. Each step felt like learning a new language. In my old life, I walked to get somewhere, fast, efficient. Here, I walked to walk. It felt revolutionary. Research shows slow, intentional movement can rewire the nervous system. Every step was teaching my body it was safe. On the 5th day, I realized I hadn't checked my phone in 3 hours. That forgetting felt like victory. The hotel had a terrace overlooking a valley so beautiful it hurt. I decided to spend an entire afternoon there. No book, no phone, no distraction. Within 15 minutes, I was crawling out of my skin. The urge to check something was almost unbearable. I realized I had never just sat. Stillness was not rest for me, it was exposure. Neuroscientists found the brain's default mode network becomes atrophied in people who never allow themselves to be idle. I had starved the part of me that knew how to simply be. I forced myself to stay for 2 hours. By the end, underneath the discomfort, I felt something else, the beginning of actual rest. My friend Simone called me from a silent retreat in Bali. Her voice was shaking. "I cannot do this," she said. "The silence is too loud, and I don't know who I am without the noise." 10 days of silence had stripped away every distraction. What remained was a woman who didn't recognize herself without constant motion. Silent retreats trigger what practitioners call meditation sickness, suppressed emotions rising when external stimulation is removed. I told her what I'd learned. The discomfort was a sign she was finally safe enough to feel. She stayed. By day 7, her texts changed from desperate to curious. I called my mother from Italy. We talked about nothing important at first. Then she said something that stopped me cold. I don't think I've ever been truly relaxed, not once in my entire life. I realized my struggle with peace was inherited. My grandmother survived things I couldn't imagine. My mother carried that survival into constant motion. I absorbed their vigilance like oxygen. Epigenetic research shows trauma passes through generations, through actual changes in gene expression. I wasn't just healing myself, I was healing a lineage. Maybe I could learn that too, my mother said quietly. Those 6 words felt like the beginning of something bigger than myself. Walking along the Amalfi Coast, a memory surfaced. I was 12. The year my parents divorced, I adapted by becoming useful. Anticipating needs, solving problems. Chaos was where I learned I mattered. Peace felt dangerous because I didn't know who I was without something to fix. Attachment psychologists call this earning love through utility. I had been addicted to crisis because crisis was where I felt valuable. Standing on that cliff, I made a decision. I would learn to matter in peace the way I had learned to matter in chaos. I extended my trip. 1 week became 6. Lake Como, Portofino, Florence. In each place, I practiced being present without needing to produce. The first week, the old voice would return, saying, I didn't deserve this, but each time, I stayed. Psychologists call this exposure therapy for worthiness. By the 2nd month, something remarkable happened. I woke up in Positano, looked at the view, and felt no guilt at all. Just clean, uncomplicated gratitude. I returned to New York in autumn. Within hours, I felt the old pull. The test was whether I could keep peace here. The first week was brutal. I caught myself overcommitting, saying yes when I meant no. But I also caught myself, which was progress. I created rituals, morning walks without my phone, daily moments of intentional stillness. These became containers that held my peace, boundaries that kept chaos from flooding back. We met for dinner in the West Village. Simone looked settled. Peace is not something you find, she said. It's something you choose every single day. She told me about the last days of her retreat. I thought I was going to break, but I was already broken. The silence just showed me the cracks so I could finally heal them. We made a pact to hold each other accountable to peace. Healing happens in community. Peace feels strange when chaos was home, but home is what you know, not what you deserve. I spent years building a home in chaos. Now I was building somewhere new, quieter, softer. Peace doesn't feel like relief when you've never known it. It feels like learning to breathe for the first time. Your nervous system will lie to you. It will tell you chaos is safe because chaos is known. Don't believe everything your body tells you. You can relearn safety. Tonight, I am sitting in a quiet apartment and I am sleeping, finally, fully. The peace that once terrified me now holds me. I am home. Peace is a practice, not a destination. Every uncomfortable moment in stillness is building something that will eventually hold you. You're not broken for struggling with peace. You're human. The women who learn to live in peace become unshakable. Some will realize they've been running from the peace they always wanted. Others will feel permission to stay in the discomfort long enough to discover what's on the other side. If this resonated, you're ready to stop building homes in chaos. And that, my love, is exactly where peace is waiting.